What is 2019 novel coronavirus, or as we may know it as the Wuhan coronavirus, and should we be worried? As you can tell by my blue shirt, the pen that is also inside of my shirt, and because I drank when I am sad, I legally am a doctor and I can tell you everything you need to know. But in reality, I'm here to tell you about the coronavirus and debunk a lot of the myths that are about the coronavirus and talk to you about if we, as in the people outside of China or near the outbreak center of China, should actually be worried. First off, I want to talk about this. Coronavirus and 2019 novel coronavirus are two different types of things. Coronavirus is a group of RNA viruses that cause a lot of disease in animals and in humans. Now, for example, a type of coronavirus is Ebola. Ebola is a type of coronavirus. So since Ebola and novel coronavirus 2019 are not the same thing, the coronavirus is not the same thing as 2019 novel coronavirus. An RNA virus is a virus that is strung up of RNA genetic material instead of DNA genetic material, which means that it is a very, very, very strong virus. But since most of them can't be cured, a lot of them can be treated, especially if caught early. For example, when the whole Ebola outbreak was going on, people were over there giving them treatments, and then boom, the outbreak just stopped. It completely stopped. Now, the 2019 novel coronavirus is a type of coronavirus, but it is one that is causing respiratory illness and disease in people, and it originally started in Wuhan, China. So how did this really come about? At the beginning, the people that were infected, they were claiming that they were around seafood and animal markets. So this was concluding that it was probably an animal-to-person spread disease. But as more and more people got the virus, it actually turns out that a lot of them, like a lot of the newer ones, were not anywhere near any type of animal markets. So this means that, well, in actuality, it was a person-to-person spread. I also heard from someone in my college English class that the way the coronavirus actually started was because of a festival that was going on in China where they would take a bat, dip it in sauce, and then eat the bat. Like, it wasn't cooked. They just eat the bat. That's disgusting, and that is such a terrible sanitary hazard that, it's stupid. So if you're worried about this, the symptoms include a cough, a fever, and shortness of breath. And if you're near anybody who has these symptoms, get the f away from them as soon as possible. There is no cure for this so far. They've started developing vaccines and other things in China and in Germany and stuff like that, but there is no cure. But there are plenty of treatment offers, including supportive care. And supportive care, especially in milder cases of this, can actually be very, very, very good. It can actually help a lot. In severe cases, it's supportive care that involves like organs and stuff like that, but it still can be pretty effective. So there's just what is coronavirus. That's basically that's a quarter of this video. The biggest part of this video is coming up, and that is, should we be worried? This obviously is not something that is of joking matter or something that we should be joking about, because it is honestly hurting people and it's a very bad thing that's going on. But at the same time, false statements should not be made about this. And who is making these false statements? The news and the media. The news and other media sources are claiming that this is a global health epidemic and that by the end of the year, half the population is going to be wiped out. China's population is going to be destroyed. Everyone's going to die. That's completely false, and I laugh at that because of how really silly that sounds. First of all, there are both severe and not severe cases of this coronavirus. It's like any other thing. It's a virus. It's a virus. It's literally like the flu. The flu kills more people every year than the coronavirus. And there are severe flus and there's not severe flus. It's the same type of thing. The dead people, rest in peace to all of them, and the people that are probably going to die from them, rest in peace in the future to them, which is actually very funny. It's actually mainly killing old people. It's not younger people that are dying. Those are the severe cases. The not severe cases are the other people who are just infected and are getting care and are not dying. Those are the not severe cases. Now, as the smart college student I did, because someone may come on this video and say, "Oh, Dimitri, you know what? You're just a college kid. You don't know anything about this. You're not a doctor. Look at the shirt. I'm definitely a doctor. But you're not a doctor, and you don't know what you're talking about, and blah, blah, blah." Well, actually, you're right. I don't necessarily know what I'm talking about because I am not a doctor. But I do know how to do math, and I do know how to do math pretty well. As a matter of fact, I tested out of math in college, so I never have to take math class again. So basically what I'm saying is, the calculations that I make are correct. And I'm going to tell you the calculations. I have them written down right here to make sure that I don't mess them up, so I'm just going to read them off my paper right here. As of February 14th, 2020, which is the day that I'm recording this and the day before you're seeing this video, 64,435 people have been infected with coronavirus globally, and 1,383 of those people have died from coronavirus. Now, that's a large number of infected, and it's a large number of people that have died. But to be quite frank, 2% of the people have died from this. 2%. That is not a very big number, nor does that recommend a global health epidemic. It's just not. Now, I do want to say there is a conspiracy theory that the Chinese government is actually hiding how many cases of coronavirus there are, whether it be smaller or larger than the number I just said. There's a conspiracy because it's been silencing journalists. And I don't really want to get into it because I don't want China to go after me, but they're silencing journalists and they're not allowed to really report like the real stuff that's going on. But here's a fun fact that I want you to put into your mind, and I'm going to read it off my paper again because I wrote down all my notes on a piece of paper. Ebola is an RNA virus, like I said before. And when there was an outbreak in 2013 to 2014, I actually don't think it was that. It was like 2013 to 2016 or something like that was when like it finally ended, but it was really slowing down by the end of 2014, I believe. 28,637 people got infected with Ebola, and this was across 6 nations, and 11,315 people died. That's almost 40% of the people who got Ebola died. Ebola was never, and I mean never, said that it was a global health epidemic because we all just thought, oh, it's in Africa, it's fine. In my home state, when I was in 8th grade, a Ebola victim flew in to the airport 5 minutes from my house to get treated. So it was a global health epidemic. It was in the US, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, I believe it was in France maybe, and Italy. I believe those were the other countries. There's a couple other ones. And Nigeria. I believe those are the 6 countries. But still, that's 6 countries. I don't need my notebook anymore, but I actually remember a stat that I found out the other night after doing calculations with my partner Jeffrey. So the deal is when Ebola was an outbreak, in the countries in Africa, approximately the total population was 24.4 million across the 3 major countries that Ebola happened in. And there was a 0.003 chance that you were going to get Ebola. So still, it's very slim, but when you think about it, it's still there. I did the calculations with China because China's population is 1.386 billion, I believe it's right around there, and 65,000 people have gotten the virus. We calculated that there's about, I think it's 1,000 cases or 1,500 cases outside of China, but we found out that if you live in China, you have a 0.00005% chance of actually getting coronavirus. That is so slim. So freaking slim. Like, I'm not even lying to you. It is an extremely slim number. So the fact of the matter is, most people in China and outside of China are not going to be infected. And I actually was reading up that the Chinese government believes that the epidemic will be over by April or the end of April 2020. So we're looking like we may got a month of this left, month and a half, around there, and then it's just done. I know I said first of all a while ago, but I want to go into my second of all. Second of all, obviously this is a bad disease, and it's killed many people, but if this is caught early, and you get supportive care early, you're going to most likely be fine. And I mean that. You are going to be fine. I've talked to my mom because she's a big medicine nut. I've done research. You will be fine. You will. It's like the flu. You're going to be fine. If you catch it early, you're going to be fine. Third, Chinese people. This is a message to you guys over there in China, even though I'm pretty sure you guys don't have YouTube. Don't dip live bats and not cooked bats in sauce and eat them. It's unhealthy and dangerous, and it's stupid. It's just stupid. I don't care what tradition it is. It's stupid. And now I hope you guys learn to never do that again, because we're supposed to learn from our mistakes. And if you don't, and this happens again, well then, I mean, we'll probably just be in the situation we're in right now, and maybe I'll make another video the next year, but who knows? Finally, for those pieces of out there that are making coronavirus prank videos, stop. You shouldn't be doing that. You are messing with something completely serious, and those videos aren't funny. This is something that people are generally afraid of. Now, do I think people really need to be extremely afraid of it in the US and stuff like that? No, they don't. But people are, and they're generally afraid of it. Even though that I would tell someone to man up and calm down, someone's definitely going to be afraid of it. Stop doing that. It's just not cool. It's not cool. It's not funny either. Just stop. Please. Please, for YouTube's sake and for everyone else's sake, please stop. Because you are treading on very thin water, and it's not funny. They're not. Other prank videos are funny. There's plenty of pranks out there you can do. This one just isn't funny. Now, on a serious note, I am going to touch on this very briefly because I know one of my friends from high school has really been affected by this. My friend from high school, his name was Charles, and he was Chinese, and he actually came to the United States when I believe we were sophomores in high school. It may have been when we were juniors in high school. I'm not exactly sure. But Charles was actually a pretty good friend of mine. Charles and I hung out a couple times, and we even were in the same prom group when we went to prom, and he spent the prom night at my house. He was a really nice guy, really cool guy, and I really, really, really liked him. And he told on his Instagram story that he has been getting bullied and almost being like racially profiled, or like literally people are being racist to him because he's Chinese, and they're making fun of him, saying like, oh, you have coronavirus, like get away from me, you're infected, you're gonna infect me and my family, stuff like that. And it's like, stop doing that. As we did the math, in China, 0.000005, or it may be 0.00005, not really sure, but nevertheless, it's a very slim number of people in China. Anyone who's been to China even has this disease. China's population is so massive. It's the biggest country in the world. And since it's the biggest country in the world, it's got the most people. And it's going to infect more people because it's a very dense and widespread country. It's dense in parts and widespread in others. So since it hits a dense part, it's going to be more serious and affect more people, even though the number and percentage is still very small. Please stop doing all these racist things. It isn't fair. It isn't funny. It isn't cool. It's not. You're generally hurting someone's feelings, and you're generally being racist to them. I understand that friends like to make little racist comments here and there to each other, and like, if you're gamers and memers, of course you do. But no one's serious when they do that. No one is. Don't be serious with something like this. It's not fair to our friends, to my friends, to your friends, to just people walking around. It's just not fair at all. Please take this into consideration and realize that you are actually hurting someone and hurting their feelings and making them feel just not as good as everyone else. And just please take that into consideration. After touching on that, just to pretty much outro this video, this isn't something that you really need to be worried about. It's not. Obviously, if you're in Wuhan, China, or the areas around there where it's very, very dense and getting affected very easily, obviously you need to worry. But in the US, Italy, England, India, everywhere, you don't really need to worry about this virus. It's not going to get you. I mean, if it does, and you're in the US and you catch it early, go to supportive care, you're going to be fine. Blah, 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 I've already said that. But yes, again, disclaimer, I know I'm not a doctor. I know that I'm a 18-year-old college student where the only thing and credential I have is that I have coached people for their body. That is the only credential I have. But what I will say is I do have the power of research and the power of statistics and mathematics behind me, so I am able to find these things out. But I'm going to wrap this video up. I hope you guys enjoyed it and you learned something from it. If you did, please leave a like on this video. Also guys, if you didn't like the video, please don't dislike because that's bad ratings. Just comment down below what you didn't like about the video and let me know so I can fix that for you guys the next video. Also guys, because this channel is very new and we have a lot of good content, it would mean a lot to me if you guys could subscribe to the channel and also turn on post notifications so you get a notification every time that I upload another video on this channel, which is every other day. But yeah guys, I've got some business that I've got to take care of and I've got to start editing this video. So without any further ado, I am going to go to the grocery store.